What is up? What is up? What is up? Haha, surprise. We're back. Tea time with Robyn. We are back. We are on the Building Buffalo Network. Go over there and check out some amazing content over there Monday through Sunday. Right now it's the off season, so maybe it's not every day, but I'm pretty sure it is. But it's the off season, guys, and we are feeling ourselves today. We took a break because we wanted to. We apologize, but sometimes you need that mental. And we're back though. We're back. What's up, Robyn? How you doing?
I am just fine. You can tell that I am trying to manifest spring here in Wyoming with a few flowers. I'm hoping that it just brings everything along. Our weather has been very much like Western New York, in case anyone's interested. It's going to be 76 to 80 degrees here today, and then snow on Sunday.
That's crazy.
So here we are.
Right. What's
I'm
up, Sandra? Good morning.
Football. Sandra, yes. Hi. I am so ready to talk about free agency and all the stuff we got going on, because we got it going on, girl.
And we always tap in on lunchtime, so it's the lunchtime vibes, Robyn.
Lunchtime. It's only breakfast here in Wyoming, but that's good. I got coffee.
Yes.
We're all good.
Yes. So a lot of stuff has happened since we've been gone, since we've been away, and let's get into it. So some free agents happened. They signed. Some major free agents happened. Go ahead, Robyn. You can kick it off.
Yeah, let's talk about the people. I'll list who we're going to talk about here first, and then we'll go down the list and talk about each one. We've got Joey Bosa at defensive end. We have Joshua Palmer as a wide receiver. We have Larry Ogunjobi, who is a defensive tackle. Derek Forrest, who I love, in safety. Michael Hoyt is kind of a mixed breed outside linebacker, defensive end, moves around all over the place kind of guy. And Dane Jackson. And then we have also got Kendrick Green, an offensive guard, which we'll talk about a little bit later too. But let's start out with Joey Bosa. I was a little surprised that the Bills signed him, only because he wasn't really on my radar screen, like they were going to really go after him. I'm good with Joey Bosa. Don't get me wrong. I know all his accolades and so on. But the big question, and everybody knows it, is can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I did a pod with Kenneth from United Buffalo podcast, and we kind of was on air when the news broke about Myles Garrett staying with Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And so I said people that I did not want, and I said Joey Bosa, and I said if Joey Bosa is with the Buffalo Bills, I might not watch. Do I have egg on my face? Absolutely. Do I care? Absolutely not. So my first impressions of them signing Joey Bosa was like, okay. I mean, if he can stay healthy, awesome.
That's a big thing.
And
that's a big thing. Now, the one thing they said that I think might help and make a difference, and it was a big reason he said he signed with the Bills, is because they rotate, and he's not going to have to play 70 to 80% of the snaps. Right. He's only going to play 50% of the snaps, and he thinks the Von Miller method of using him sparingly, carefully, I should say, I think that will promote his health and overall longevity. Mm-hmm. So, but he is 32 years old, and we know what we went through with Von Miller, right?
Yeah, and I think he just had a birthday. I think Von is 36, 37, so 36. I mean, younger version of Von Miller. So I'm all right with it. I mean, what am I going to say? No. But, I mean, I guess I'm all right with it because we need someone on the opposite side of Gregory Rousseau.
And that's the thing. If he can stay healthy, Groot will thrive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Groot is going to be the guy who thrives.
Because the pressure when it came to Groot, it was there. He was getting to the quarterback. It was just now let's get, It's I always say this. When we had, what was the guy? Jerry Hughes.
Yeah.
he never had anyone on the other side of the ball, on the other side of
Same
the.
way.
So it's
And
all
never realized his potential because of it,
yes,
right? That's a problem.
yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to Joshua Palmer, wide receiver, San Diego.
Hmm.
I thought,
Okay, wait,
go
wait.
ahead, tell me, go ahead.
Before we get to that, because I don't know if you had Mac Hollins on here.
I did.
You did or you didn't?
In terms of him leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to talk about that now because I just wanted the comparisons because everybody was upset
Yeah,
that
tell me.
Mac Hollins left.
Right.
I think with Joe or with Josh Palmer, we got a better Mac Hollins. I get Mac Hollins was this character, right? He was this big person, big personality. I so understand it. I so understand it. But Mac Hollins is a journeyman, and he's a journeyman
Exactly.
for a
For a
reason.
reason.
You know what I
There's a
mean?
reason he's been on like what, 4 or 5 different teams?
5 teams right now. And he wanted to connect back with Josh McDaniel, and Josh McDaniel is in New England. So I get everybody being upset about it, but the Bills weren't going to pay him what
$8 million for 2 years?
they
No.
weren't going to pay him that. New England
Because he
has
was our 5th
mega money.
exactly. He was our 5th wide receiver.
Right.
You're not giving a 5th wide receiver, 2nd wide receiver money.
Yeah.
Now, that's the thing that you brought up. With the Patriots, he's probably going to be their 2nd wide receiver.
Yeah. And we're going to get into the Patriots a little bit, guys. So, don't come for us. But so Joey, I like this Josh Palmer. I think that he is something that Josh kind of needs. I don't know if he's like the stretch the field type of a wide receiver, but I do like this signing. I really do.
I do too. And the thing about Joshua Palmer is that he was behind the
2 other
guys.
guys.
I'm picking all the names in
Mhm.
San Diego, so he didn't get much playing time, and he will probably get more playing time, I think, in Buffalo than he had in San Diego.
No,
That
yeah.
I do see coming, but I'm excited about having him. So I
Mhm.
think that was a very, very good signing. So
Yeah.
next on our list is Larry Ogunjobi, who is a defensive tackle from the Steelers. And we'll talk about the suspension stuff later, but that signing was kind of interesting. He's another guy who's a little older,
Mhm.
an established veteran. He kind of reminds me of the kind of signing that the Bills have done in recent years in terms of, like, you've got Jordan Phillips, or you've got Quentin Jefferson, or you've got these guys that they signed that are sort of middling
Mhm.
defensive tackles. And I think he will help with depth for
Mhm.
sure. He will help with his veteran presence for sure, because if we don't draft a one technique defensive tackle early,
You guys hear this?
I will lose what is left of my mind. So Ogunjobi is kind of a backup situation, but if we can get us a Kenneth Grant or a Derek Harmon or whatever, then that rookie will be able to learn from Larry Ogunjobi. And as I understand it, Ogunjobi is a dog. He's a dog.
Yeah. Oh, he also was playing. They play 3-4 in
Right,
Pittsburgh,
right.
so he's going to be coming to a 4-3 with us.
It's a
And a lot
little
of people said he had a down season, but I think he'll fit right in. Like you said, a depth piece for sure.
yes.
It's so crazy because that man's last name was killing me, right? So I was trying to find a way to, like, how am I going to remember his last name? So I just went, okay, Joey.
There
That's
you
how I
go.
remember it.
Okay,
That's how,
Joey.
that's how I remember it. His name is Okay Joey. So
Okay, Larry.
yeah.
Okay, Joey. He says that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on because we have so much to talk about.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay, this guy I really want to talk about a lot because I love him. Derek Forrest, safety. And I believe it was the Panthers. Did he come from the Panthers?
No,
Was it?
fourth. I thought it was Commanders.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. That's right. Commanders.
Hmm.
Okay. This guy is the full package. Decent size. I see him in a similar role in terms of importance.
Hmm.
Like, really, Sean McDermott is so good at finding safeties.
Yes.
When he first came to Buffalo, he brings in Micah Hyde and
Hmm.
Jordan Poyer, and we all know what happened there. So we've been looking ever since to try to replace them. And Taylor Rapp, okay, we've had guys going in and out of the role, but nobody has really stepped up. Even Cole Bishop, he's young, he was a rookie, but I think McDermott expected more from him last year than we saw. The injury kind of hurt him a little bit. But Derek Forrest, I think he's the full package at safety. He is rangy. He is bigger. He's not afraid to tackle. He gets turnovers. He reminds me of that level of find. Like he could
Hmm.
be as good as Micah Hyde or Jordan Poyer when
I
he
like.
gets fit into this. So I think he's gonna push Taylor Rapp for a starting role.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised. What's up? What's up? Good morning. Thank you for
Hey,
tuning in.
Kenneth.
What's up, Kenneth? Um, if you don't know, this is Kenneth and one half of United Buffalo podcast. So they drop
Yay.
on Wednesdays, I want to say. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I do like this signing as well. I like the fact that, like you said, he is high octane.
Yes.
Like he's a good
Yes.
tackler.
He's a dog.
They were really upset. The Commander fans were really upset when he signed with the Buffalo Bills.
That's always a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, yes,
He really
because
pissed off the other fan base.
yeah, they also thought that he didn't get a fair shot because the changing of coaches. So you know how that
Right.
happens. Doesn't fit your philosophy.
He
Not
did
that
some
you're.
defense,
Yes,
right?
absolutely, absolutely. So I'm
It's
happy
gonna
we
take
got him.
Derek Forrest a minute, probably because we've talked about this before. The safety position with a defense of Sean McDermott's is a different role than in other defenses. The
Hmm.
safety has a lot more responsibility in a Sean McDermott defense. And so it'll take Derek Forrest maybe a minute to kind of get caught up in terms of the 4-2-5 and how he works it, how McDermott works it, et cetera. But I think he's a quick learner. And the other thing about him that's really kind of cool is he fits Buffalo.
Hmm.
His personality is, I think, infectious. I think he has that dog in him that Bills fans are going to love.
Yeah.
I think he's going to contend for a starting job. Watch out, Taylor Rapp.
I would not be, I wouldn't be surprised because I'm not really, I don't really like the pairing of Taylor Rapp and Cole Bishop.
Bishop.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I think
Not a fan.
I think we could upgrade. I think we could upgrade that. And Cole Bishop needs to step up this year.
Hmm.
This year he needs to get stronger. He needs to step up. I think he's got it in him. And in all fairness to him, he played in a system at Utah that was so different than the defense we have. So
Hmm.
safety is going to take him a little bit longer to learn the role.
But he
So
was getting it towards the end of the season. I mean,
towards the end of the
you
season,
see the rawness of him when he first started.
yep,
I think it was against Houston, I
yep,
think, and you've seen it,
yep.
and towards the end of the season, you've seen that Kansas City game. You've seen it. So I mean,
It's coming.
yeah, it's definitely coming for sure, for
It's
sure.
coming. He just has to stay healthy.
Yes.
And onward we go to Michael Hoyt, who
Hoyt.
Hoyt, Hle. I have to look at his name. I'm like, how the
I
hell?
know. How do you
Where's
pronounce that?
that?
It's like
Hoyt. Okay.
Hoyt. Okay.
From the San Diego Chargers. No, Rams.
Yes,
From the
Rams.
yeah, okay, I wrote that down wrong. Okay, he's from the Rams, and we like to steal Rams players for some reason.
I know.
On defense especially. But Michael Hoyt is fascinating. He might be one of the most fascinating finds that the Bills have brought on board in terms of a free agent. I think he is extremely talented. This guy can play just about anywhere on the line.
Let me ask you,
Yeah.
Lorenzo Alexander. Alexander,
Yes. Perfect comp. Perfect comp.
and he's
And
wearing his number.
oh, I didn't know that. That's
He's
funny.
55.
Yay!
55. Yeah.
So that's the deal. He's like the jack of all trades, and he's good,
Yeah.
boy. And he's a dog, and he's another one that will get after people. So what you see, I think, in the free agent signings and what we're evolving to in terms of defense along the defensive line, they're trying to get more dog on the defensive
Mm-hmm.
line. You can see that with these signings, that there are some similarities in terms of the personalities of these people that they're bringing in are dogs, and that's what they want.
Let me
And
ask you
that's what they
something.
should want. Yes.
So we watched the last pressers from Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane, the end of the season pressers last year. Did you get the inkling to where they're both unhappy and not satisfied? And of course, with the signings, with this defense and where it was last year and where how it doesn't produce in the playoffs, because it's not like Brandon Beane wanted to throw Sean McDermott underneath the bus. Because if you go back and listen to it, he's talking in code to where he doesn't want to put eyes on Sean McDermott, but he wants to be like, listen, I need our defense to step up. I'm going to give you the guys. I'm going to make sure we get the guys. Now it's up to you to produce these guys because let's be quite honest, last year our defense was just not that it was, flat or whatever like
Our
that. We
defensive
knew.
line was average at best.
Yes. Yes.
And if your defensive line, you and I talk about this all the time, and I know I'm very biased, but I just believe you build your team in the trenches. And our offensive line is set. Cromer's got those guys going like crazy. And we'll talk about that more. But the defensive line has not been right for several years. And we're not utilizing, in my opinion, the best of Ed Oliver. You have to have, and I bitch about this, excuse my French, all the
You're good.
time about the one technique defensive tackle that we need. And we need somebody who is next to Ed Oliver to bring out the best in Ed Oliver, because Ed Oliver is undersized. So you have to have some big beef up front, and preferably some big beef that's in the draft, like Kenneth Grant, that kind of a player who is big but is also disruptive. And that's what we've been lacking, and we cannot do that again, because that sets the whole tone of the defense. If the defensive line is not strong and aggressive, then your corners suffer, then your middle linebackers suffer. Yes, a one technique defensive tackle. Yes, John. Amen. I've said it for 5 years, and if we don't get one, I'm going to have a temper tantrum on air.
Yeah, she's been saying it for the last 2 years. Last 2 years. Let me ask you this then. With the handing over the defense to Bobby Babbage, do you think it took a step back because of it?
Probably. And he was a rookie, defensive coordinator that has never been a defensive coordinator before. What I think a step back is kind of interesting. I would only say it's weird the way it is that I'm going to say this, but I think that he took a step, or the defense took a step back in the first half of most games, because we would come out slow. We would come out with a plan that was not necessarily effective, and he would go in it, sometimes make the adjustments in the first half, but most of the time it was halftime. And then he would make the adjustments at halftime, and then they would come and ball out.
And I heard this. I heard that. Someone said that. Like they would allow offenses to do, and now when I say allow, I'm being loosely, don't quote me. They will allow the offense to dictate what they wanted to do, and then the Bills would react.
Then they would react, but it was a second half adjustments that Bobby Babbage made that were excellent. But my question was, why can't you come out with a game plan in the first half the same way? And I think that was his inexperience.
But Sean McDermott didn't do that, though. Sean McDermott was aggressive up front.
He was. But again, I think Bobby Babbage's inexperience, he didn't have a good first half plan in place, right? Like, here was am I willing to move up to get Ken? Yes. How about that? Yes. I would do it. Yes. How about yes, 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 and twice on Sunday? Yes. I would
Oh,
move up
and
in the
three
draft
times
order.
on freaking draft day. Yes.
Man, thanks, Kenneth, because I'm
Uh,
telling you what, that has been 2 years on this program, okay, on this podcast, but 3 years before that, I have been bitching about getting a one technique defensive tackle for 5 years, and
yes.
it hasn't happened, and it needs to happen.
And
Rumor is
we've been with this podcast for 3, right? So
yeah,
you've been saying it for at
5 years.
least since we've been starting this podcast.
And every year.
Rumors says the Buffalo Bills will move up to the 24th because of the Vikings has 4
We have
picks. Okay,
2
cool.
second-round picks. Give them, like, yes, we have to get the right guy on the defensive line. We have to. Hit that mafia button. Show some love. Thank you very much.
Not to get you sidetracked, but yeah, I'm with you. When it comes to the defense, that defensive line was always our Achilles
A
heel. To
problem area.
where, yes, man, and
Can't
just
do it.
imagine if we didn't have it, we'd probably be going to the Super Bowl twice, Robyn, at least.
Exactly. If our defensive line was as effective as our offensive line
Yeah.
is, we would be in a different sphere. Now, let's not forget the one other thing with these signings that's coming along is new coaching.
Yes.
We have Mr. Nielsen, Ryan Nielsen, I think his first name is. He is supposed to be top of the line in terms of putting defensive lines together. He's who made the Jags defensive line good. He's the one who made the Saints defensive line good. So I'm extremely excited about having a different set of eyes, a more mature set of eyes, another Aaron Cromer type
Right.
defensive line, because that's what we need.
Yes, for sure.
So
Who else
2
do we
more.
got? Yep.
We've got 2 more real quick. And Dane Jackson, he's the one we re-signed Dane from the Panthers. Okay, tell me.
I don't know, Robyn. I just knew it though. I kind of knew when he was released. I said Dane's going to be a Buffalo Bill. I know he's going to be a Buffalo Bill. He had his most productive years with the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills know him. The Buffalo Bills love him. If you could just turn your head around, Dane Jackson, you can pick off so many balls. You can deflate so many balls if you would just turn your head around.
I knew you were going to say that.
But I guess I'm okay with it.
We need the depth. We don't have anybody.
We don't.
Kyrie Lim is gone. We need him. So I'm down with it. He's pretty good against the run. He'll tackle people. So that part of it I'm good with. But we'll talk about corner, in another podcast, but that's like a huge need. And we haven't gotten Christian Benford extended yet. So I'm panicking about that. Our corner situation is dire. And so if Dane Jackson can add to the bottom line, I'm good with it. Good. Okay. I'm with you, Kenneth. I'm open to this because I think that he has some strengths in his game. He's not a complete player, but 7th round draft picks generally aren't. So he's definitely outplayed his draft status. So I have to give him that. And then
it comes to not to cut you off, when it comes to Dane Jackson, I mean, when these guys leave, it's not that they don't want them here. It's the fact that they want to get paid. Dane Jackson went to Carolina. Was it Carolina?
Yeah.
Carolina and got the bag.
He did. He got a $30 million 3-year contract, but I don't think the 3 years, they got rid of him sooner because it was.
But he still got his money. But the Bills weren't going to pay Dane Jackson that amount of money, and we're going to talk about Benford. We don't know what's going to happen to that, but he still has to play on the deal. Like, you can do it now, but whatever. Sorry.
Last guy. Let's finish with the free agent signings. Kenneth Green, an offensive guard. Now, in my opinion, that probably was a pick made by Cromer, because Cromer does a lot of digging around and looking at people. And Kenneth Green is established.
That was shocking to me.
Really? Tell me why.
I know mindset of a lot of Bills fans, or maybe I'll just speak for me. A lot of my thoughts and whatever is defense, defense, defense. And I know you got to get the offense, and the offense is kind of set, But when I seen it, I was like, okay. And then I was like, or Cyrus Torrance, maybe. Um, he's been playing well, and he's probably going to want the bag very, very soon.
And he's
And
get the bag
yeah,
very, very soon.
yeah.
We cannot pay Spencer Brown, Deion Dawkins, and we got to pay Connor McGovern at some point. Okay, so there's only so much money to go around on that offensive line, and I look at Cromer as kind of a genius. So for me, it was like he dug this guy out. He sees something in him, and offensive guards are easier to replace than tackles generally. So I could see where this was a Cromer pick, and probably just for the reason you said
Mm-hmm.
that last season,
This.
Dave Edwards,
Oh
exactly.
yeah. Okay.
Probably
And
because
but the Bills they recycle, and we got people on the
we
back
got
end.
people.
Yeah, I do. I like the fact that our O line is all together.
I'm not worried about our O line.
I'm not worried about our O line. I mean, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane is good with signing the guys and being a little friendly or whatever, but they're going to have to pay Spencer Brown, because Spencer Brown took a massive friendly deal.
He did.
A massive friendly deal.
He did, because he wanted to stay with Cromer. And
Yes.
that's not an underrated issue. As
It's
long as
not.
we need Cromer, we are set.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I feel about our offensive line.
Open up the checkbook.
Open up the checkbook, do whatever you got to do. But even if you have to replace somebody, Cromer's a guy who can look at talent, evaluate talent, bring in talent, and then develop talent. He does it all. So it's like, okay, Terry Pagula, just like open up the checkbook.
Right.
You tell Cromer whatever it is you need, we'll pay you.
So there's a question in here. So, and I just want to address it. Did I put it up? No, I didn't. Scott, what do you mean by that?
Oh, entire secondary is a question mark besides Johnson.
I'm gonna have to politely disagree. So you're talking about Benford, you're talking about Coleman, not Coleman.
Well, we have
Benford. I'm not Benford. What Bishop? Who else is back there? Taylor Rapp. And okay, we don't have a corner opposite of Benford yet.
That's why we're desperate.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I don't know about Johnson though, because to be quite honest with you, I'm over Johnson. Johnson had a down year last year.
He did. I think he's gotten as much out of his body as he can. He's not a big guy, and he plays huge, absolutely huge. So yeah, I could see the Bills and hope they do later in the draft. Find another gem who can play the nickel corner and start developing him.
Hey, I got one on my. So once we do the draft, and we're going to do it with Dean, I have a nickel corner guy that I want to hear what he has to say about it. Yeah, because I'm also in the thoughts of Tehran might be done after this season, because I've seen some weakness in it. You know what I'm saying? So, but the Bills like him. The Bills definitely like him. So
we'll see where things go. Let's move on to the suspensions. Why don't we?
Yes. So guys, we haven't been here for a while. So me and Robyn is doing catch up. So forgive us if you've heard this before on my pod over with me and Mike, but me and Robyn haven't spoke. So we're going to go over some things that's happening in this off season. And we're going to talk. I want you guys to come back, because I know there's a lot of draft talks in the communication over here, and I love it. We love it.
It's
but
coming.
It's coming. It's coming. We got Dean coming on, and he's going to talk about the draft. He's going to give us his knowledge of players and stuff like that, and we're going to bounce some questions off to him as well. But thank you guys, though. Appreciate it. The
Yeah.
suspensions, though.
On to the suspensions. Okay. I have one thing to say about the suspensions. I was not happy. I don't like the way that it came down in terms of why are we finding out about this afterwards? Shouldn't this information be brought to the attention of teams before the free agency period opens so we know who's going to be suspended and who isn't going to be suspended? But aside all of that, one of the things that I try to do when negative things happen is just a policy of mine in life is to always look for a blessing, right? Always look for the blessing in any bad situation. And there is a blessing in this if you think about it. Now, losing Michael Hoyt or, Larry Ogunjobi both for 6 games is not good. First of all, Ogunjobi took a pay cut, which thankfully they worked it out because he was the one they found out after the fact. And so Brandon Bean went to him and said, okay, you're out for 6 games. That's like a third of the regular season. And we would like to prorate what the contract that you signed. We would like to prorate that and make an adjustment to that because of your suspension. Because here's the thing, I think he's 32 years old, so he may be a one and done. He's only signed for a year, so you've only got him, you signed him only for like 17 games, and then he's suspended for 6. You got to take a pay cut, dude.
But I think, and that's what I think. Brendan Bean came out after that and was like, "We are trying to figure out when it comes to his contract because we found out afterwards that his his substance, whatever it was tainted, whatever the case may be." I just don't like how the NFL does it. I don't
either. But back to what I was saying before in terms of the blessing in this, the blessing could be for both of these guys. They sit for 6 weeks. They get to know the defense better. They have time to learn defense better, and they're rested. Okay. Yeah. So they're going to be coming in and they're not going to have been beaten up for 6 weeks already. And opponents will not have things on tape to see how they play with the Bills. So when they come in 6 games in, they're going to know the defense better. Opponents aren't going to have any idea how the Bills are going to use them. And so I think that can be the blessing in disguise.
Especially Hoyt. Especially Hoyt. I mean,
yes, because he's
I was if the two of them, I was really like, I wanted to see how the Bills was going to use him. Like, because I went back and watched some of the Rams tape. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
He's all over the place. And to have that in your defense.
And they have it come in the middle of the season might be a thing, right? Like nobody's going to know how he's going to be used. So the teams in the division, for example, that we play twice, if we play them once before these guys come back, they're not going to have a clue the second time what they're going to be looking at. So I think that's a distinct blessing. I wish it didn't happen, but I'm going to choose to look at it as a blessing.
Yeah, I definitely, I'm with you. I did not like it.
Can I just say thank you to Kenneth for saying that you and I have chemistry?
Yeah, I put it up there.
Because we do.
There it is right there. Thank you, Kenneth. Love it.
Oh, I'll be around. Don't worry. You guys would be sick of hearing from me. But seriously, there is a chemistry that T and I have together, which is undeniable. And I won't lie, we made notes for this podcast and put them up in our DMs, and they were the same thing.
Yeah, we didn't. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was like, oh my God. Okay.
Our brains are united. I'm telling you.
It is. It definitely is. So we didn't talk about the extensions. Were you okay with all the extensions that happened?
Yes. Let me look.
Is that next?
Oh, the one. Yes, it is next. The one that I was really interested in is what they did with Matt Milano.
Oh yeah.
They voided a year off of his contract, and he took a $3 million pay cut, which he can earn back. How interesting is that? That's interesting to me that he would do it because
he's a free agent after this season.
This year. And all of us have worried about Matt because of his injuries. and that sort of thing. So we can hope maybe next year they'll redo a deal and, do the year-to-year thing that they do with some players, and that he'll stay. And then the other one that I want to mention, oh, a couple of them.
But before we move on to the other extensions, okay, we both like Darian Williams. Both like him, Dorian Williams. We both like him. We think that he steps up every season. I'm still a fan of Bernard and Milano. I think those are the best two linebackers that the Bills have. Towards the end of the season, we kind of seen Matt Milano stepping up and seeing
his old self.
And you cannot teach instincts.
No.
And I think he's got it. I know he's coming off to going over the hill. And I don't want to say over the hill because I don't want to put that on him. He's got a lot of miles. I'll just say that. He has a lot of miles. Are you okay with I need to see what Williams is going to be this year, because I'm still looking at him as a not progressing when it comes to the ball. Like, he'll get the ball. Like I said before, get ball, see ball. That's William.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem to have Milano's instincts.
Right. He doesn't pursue for me.
Yet. And I don't know that can be taught, but we'll see, right?
Right.
And he's been, in fairness to Dorian, thrown into the fire because he's had to play for Bernard. He's had to play for Milano. He's been all over the place. And this year, I can see them, and I think there will be times against certain opponents, they're going to go to a 4-3.
I hope so.
They're going to go to a 4-3, and you will see less of Taron Johnson on the field if Dorian Williams can improve his instincts for the ball and what you're talking about. He kind of zigs when he's should zag a bit.
Yeah.
But I not like Tremaine Edmonds used to.
Oh, God.
But no, Dorian is very much, in my opinion, starting material. Like, he can be a starting linebacker. He doesn't have to be a backup. And I think that's in a way what could happen if Matt Milano moves on.
Yeah, because you can't. The thing about it, when it comes to Williams, he's playing so well that you don't want to take him off the field. So, like, he was playing special teams at some point because you didn't want to take him off.
Exactly. And so the idea is you're weighing Taron Johnson, Dorian Williams. Taron Johnson, Dorian Williams. Because if you put Dorian Williams on the field, you have to take Taron Johnson off the field. And so that's where I think all of this has to be kind of figured out. But I do think Dorian Williams will have a much bigger role this year than he has in the past, in terms of not just being a backup when someone's injured.
And I'm good with that because he's also good. He's kind of good with tight ends, to where Taron Johnson is not.
He hits hard. He's like Milano.
Yeah.
If he only had Milano's instincts,
oh my God,
he would be elite.
Oh my God.
And I don't know, maybe he can develop that some, but I have to be fair about this, because Matt Milano came from a 4-2-5 in a scheme that was almost exactly like Sean McDermott's when he came out of college. And Dorian Williams came from Tulane, and Tulane did not have a defensive scheme like McDermott. So in fairness, I want to give him extra time to develop those instincts that I think he needs.
Yeah, but you also seen, oh my God, when he was a rookie, you seen it. You just seen, like, he was just everywhere. Oh my God, where am I supposed to be? Where am I supposed to be? They were telling him, line up here. And like, you seen the progression of last year. It's like, okay, Darian is running people down. He's right there.
And Matt Milano was not like that, because he came in as a rookie.
Yes.
Started, and it was like seamless.
Go.
He was like, I mean, if for a 5th round pick, that was one of the best picks they ever made in the 5th round. Matt Milano was a bargain. He could have been a 1st round pick the way that he's played. He's an all-pro, right? So he's right up there. Okay. Now the other extensions, Ty Johnson. I want to say that Ty Johnson is also another one of these under the radar extensions, and very, very important because we have heard Josh Allen say how many times that Ty Johnson is the best third down back in the NFL.
Mhm.
That's big endorsement. So that was a huge extension.
I love that one.
The one that's kind of interesting too, Damar Hamlin. We've
Hmm.
talked about Damar before not being really starting material, and he's not instinctive enough, he's not fast enough, all that kind
Gives
of
up a run, a big run every time. He takes bad angles. Like,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. So that signing, I think, is more depth. Okay,
And let's be quite honest, Robyn. If he doesn't make the team,
he can be on the practice squad.
right? Like,
That might happen. I sort of feel there was a statement that McDermott made, and this is where I think it boils down to. McDermott said this twice that I can recall, that as long as Damar Hamlin is playing, he'll always have a place on the team.
really?
Yeah, he said that a couple times after his near-death experience or death plus return
God.
experience. He said that, and but here's the thing. Like I said, I think he could end up on the practice squad. I think he could end up being a coach. I think next year or whatever, if he doesn't play and doesn't get much playing time, that he will be offered, an assistant position. I do think that McDermott will always find a place for him, but it's not going to be as a starter, and it's probably not even going to be as a backup,
Mhm.
especially because of what they did when they signed Derek Forrest. So I don't know where Hamlin's going to fit into all of that. Now,
Yeah.
quickly, Shakir, oh my God, was that a team friendly deal or what?
Oh yeah, it was. It
That
was.
was just tell me what you're going to pay me and I'll sign it. I mean, he
Yeah.
was amazing. And Bernard signed for a pretty reasonable deal as well.
Hmm.
But the guy who shocked me was Rousseau.
I thought Rousseau was gone. Me
I thought he was
personally,
going for the bag.
yeah, because he went and got Rosenhaus, right?
Yes,
Rosenberg or something like that. He went and and once you get that agent,
Drew
you're
Rosen.
because yes, because Jordan Poyer switched his agent and got him, and Shaman no Brandon Bean said I'm really familiar with Rosenhaus, so we're good, whatever. But I thought Rousseau was gone. I did.
I
I
wrote
I
him off in
I
my
thought he was
head.
gone because I thought he was going to price out of the Buffalo Bills. I kind of thought the Bills wasn't going to pay. I didn't think they were going to pay him.
No, but they did pay him, and he got good money, but he
Mm-hmm.
didn't get outrageous money.
Right.
And he did the Spencer thing. He did not go out and test free
Yeah.
agency.
No, they did.
Shocking. It was
So,
shocking to me.
for so many people who say, listen to a pod, and I wish I would have never listened to a pod. No disrespect to them guys. There's little beep 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 that the I don't want to talk about there's inklings to where it's like it's not what we think it is, right? So, but it to say that, then why are the guys here? Why are the guys taking less? You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
like they wouldn't do that if they want to be somewhere else. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? And
Or
I'll
if they thought
discuss it
they could
with
get
you.
the bag somewhere else. I mean, that's
Right.
that's the
Because
thing.
listen, he could have got the bag. Rousseau could have got the bag somewhere
Oh,
else.
no doubt.
The way New England was playing, he could have got the bag over there.
For real.
And
And
let you
that's
go ahead.
big that he stayed here.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
big.
It's really really big. And talking about New England and nice segue.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's like an ex-girlfriend who just won't go away. I said no, we're not getting back together. What do you mean? I want to stick around. I said no, we're not getting back together. Diggs, Stephon Diggs. God, can you just go away already? Just go away.
Yes. That was you know what shocked me though? They gave him 3 years, $69 million. Are
Do
you
you think
nuts?
he's going to be playing
32
after?
years old coming off an ACL. That's nuts. I don't think they ever intend to pay him that much, but it sounds good. But 3 years
I mean,
coming off an
they
ACL?
they got money. I'm not mad. Listen, you got the money. You're just
Spend
like,
it,
I don't know,
baby.
and you get some money, and you get some money, and you get some money. So
Let him spend it on. I was happy as heck when I saw this. So their top two receivers are Mac Hollins and Stephon Diggs. And
awesome.
no offense at all to Mac Hollins, but again, we talked about him. He's a role player. He
Hmm.
doesn't have great hands. He drops the ball a lot, and he's there mentally. He's great for team morale and all of that sort of
Yeah.
thing. But it was interesting. They were talking about this on One Bills Live yesterday, I believe it was. And they were talking about Mac Hollins and Stephon Diggs. And I can't remember which one. It was Maddie and Chris were talking about whether they would
Oh.
mesh really well together or not.
Hmm.
And Chris Brown kind of took the point of view that I have, which is I don't see that as a marriage made in heaven. Maddie was more like, oh, they'll play off each other and they'll, blah, 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 blah. I'm not sure about that because Mac Hollins is pretty much all business and not that much of a diva.
Mm.
And I think the diva stuff is
I think Diggs will play like he did here. He will be very innocent the first year, and then he's gonna let his diva fly. But Scott had something here. He said, honestly, as much as I'm not a fan of Diggs, I don't think any corner on this roster can handle him one-on-one. I disagree with you, sir. I disagree with you. Coming off an ACL, we had a guy that came off the ACL. His name was Trey White. And I know you're backpedaling, like you're backpedaling, but also too, you have to get burst in your ACL. And I know Aaron Rodgers is different, a quarterback compared to a wide receiver. I am not saying that any corner on this, Benford alone. Diggs is not the same Diggs that he was a Diggs here in Buffalo. He is not that guy. He's not. And I get, even in Houston, even we were right there. Diggs is no longer the guy to go down the field like and not catch the ball. And we could have been in. Oh, I'm sorry. Calm down. My bad. I had some memory. Trauma. It was trauma right there. But I disagree.
I'm looking forward to seeing what our defense has to say about Stephon Diggs a couple times this year coming up.
And not even that, they got a great freaking coach. They got a great coach. Vrabel, I think I said it right, is a great coach. So
he's the one that I fear far more than Stephon Diggs.
Thank you. Now that defense, besides Diggs, that defense was good last year.
Really good.
And now they have a head coach.
Now they have a good head coach.
Yeah, and I still think we are better than the Patriots.
Oh, for sure.
I'm just saying they definitely upgraded.
They're more of the team that I fear in the AFC East more than the Dolphins or the Jets. Yeah. Jets have a new head coach. Who knows what their quarterback situation is going to be like with Justin Fields and all that. And Miami is Miami, right? Like they just do Miami things. So we'll see. But I'm not, and they have Tua, and I've been on the record saying many, many times I'm not, everybody's a fan of Tua. I think he's okay.
I mean, they brung in Zach Wilson for a reason, because exactly. I truly believe that Mike McDaniels thinks that he could mold Zach Wilson into a good quarterback.
I think so.
Because he liked him when he was in a draft. So
exactly. And we'll see. I actually have more respect for the ceiling that he has. I think is higher than Tua.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listening to some, because I do listen to, our rivals, listening to some people think that Zach Wilson can be a starter like in this upcoming season if Tua goes down. So, and Zach Wilson came out and said that he is thinking of himself as a starter than being a backup. So it might be
It's going to get interesting.
It's going to be interesting over there in Miami, and I am here for it. God damn it, I'm here for it.
Yes, bring on the drama.
Yeah, we don't have it anymore, and I'm
so over it. I'm so happy to have a team. Last year's team, in terms of chemistry in the locker room, was wonderful. I believe this year will probably be the same way.
Well, I hope we don't have a drama when it comes to a situation with the running back room. But
oh yeah,
well, here's the thing about that: either he's going to play or he's not. And if you're not going to play, you're going to be fine. So I'm thinking James Cook is going to play.
I think he's going to play.
Yeah. So pay him or not, I don't know. I don't care. It's not my money. I hope he's here with the Buffalo Bills because he was a very important piece on this offense. A lot of fans are saying he's not going to get it. We can get somebody else. I hear you guys. I do. But I think this offense runs great with James Cook in it. That's just my personal opinion. But
I got one more thing we have to talk about.
Okay. Oh, yes. Yes.
We saw a 40-yard dash yesterday.
Oh, my God.
That was pretty painful to watch. Tyleik Williams, a formidable defensive tackle.
Potential.
He did not run, which was interesting. He did not run the 40-yard dash at the combine because he had a hamstring thing. Mm-hmm. So yesterday in the pro day, he decides he's going to run that 40-yard dash and he falls down. And that fall probably cost him millions of dollars because I'm certain that his draft status at this point has dropped tremendously. And I wanted to know what you think.
I don't know why my big tail at 300, not me personally, guys, not at 300 and what was 300 and what?
300 pounds? No.
Is running a freaking 40. I don't give a shooting nanny. I'm not going to be running down a quarterback. I'm going to pull my hamstring. If you want me to run a quarterback down, you got the wrong guy. I'm not doing it. You remember what happened to Jordan Phillips when he tried to run down the Pittsburgh? No, it was the New England game.
Yeah, you saw his hammy halfway down the field. All of a sudden he pulls up. Like, oh, Jesus, Jordan.
Why are you asking these guys to do that? Why are you asking these guys to run a 4? Please stop.
I don't think they were asking Jordan to do that. I think Jordan just did it.
No, yeah, Jordan just did it. But I need the combine to change up. I need you guys to do something else when it comes to these big guys and running. Like, they don't need to do it. They don't. I don't need to see his big tail running down. That's a big guy. And he was trucking too.
You need to see that, huh?
I don't need to see that. And I hope that it is just a hammy. I hope he heals well because this is going fast.
Yeah, and
everything is going to be going. Yes,
and this is going to cost him. Unfortunately, that's the thing that's sad, is that it will cost him
because it's going to come up. How's your hammy? How's your hammy? How's your hammy? Yeah,
everybody. Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. And Kenneth said half the time they're not even running down the field. Which is right. It's true. Why are we doing this? Do something else. Please, for the love of God. When I seen that, my knee hurt. When I seen that, I just was like, oh,
I felt bad.
Damn it.
Anybody listening, I did a bad thing. I sent that clip to T and I shouldn't have done it.
It's fine.
I said, look at this. And I wasn't even thinking about her knee.
I was like, oh, no. Man, we are out of here. Not the first day back, but we are back. We won't be back. We'll be back next week.
We're off. We'll be back.
Beginning of April, right? The beginning of April, we will be back. We'll be doing a podcast there. We'll be doing apps.
I'm looking at the calendar. Because I think it's not the first week in April. It's the second week in April. It's April 10th.
April 10th? Okay. We'll be back April 10th. We'll be doing a episode with Dean. We'll be talking draft all day. So come with your draft questions. Come with the guys that you think the Buffalo Bills are going to be drafting. Me and Robyn will have some as well. D-tackle for sure. D-tack, somebody, a D, somebody, D1, D2, D3, D2.
D1.
D1,
or bust.
and a nose tackle. Come on. We need something. We need somebody.
Need a nose tackle.
Yes, please. Thank you, Kenneth, for sure. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys make this so easy to do.
I love you guys.
You come with your questions, your comments, and we appreciate you. So we hope you enjoyed yourself. We are out of here.
See Dean.
Yes, come back and see Dean. Come back and see us,
Yeah.
So, yeah. But we're out of here. Peace, y'all. Like always, go Bills. Peace, y'all.